ibe ne-pride. Ayithandi indoda ukuvezela ukuthi idinga usizo. So we've got a responsibility as men to every day achieve. Esontweni angeke zisho ukuthi sifuna usizo. Esontweni iyahlala inkalakati ishaya izambulo on the pulpit, mayiphuma la ihambe ubuyele emkhubeni wayo. Ngeke ikutshele ukuthi ngifuna usizo. So we say 3 main defining features of an ideal man by the community and the family is a sincere man, a man with charisma, and an attending man, a man who is there, a man who gives attention. One day, cartoons, I picked up something. I would love to share it with men and my daughter. We've got a cartoon now, but I picked up something serious. 4 types of men. We've got a boy, we've got a player, we've got a confused man, and we've got a good man. We've got a boy, we've got a player, we've got a confused man, and we've got a good man. Emhlabeni wonke. So there's absolutely no ways that you would afford every day to go down without you having worked on something in your life as a man. When we have these 4 kinds of men amongst us, it's a boy, is a player, is a confused man, and is a good man. A boy would always be a boy. Regardless of his age. There's 2 things. One is growing up and growing old. Growing old is mandatory. You like it or don't like it, you're going to grow old. But growing up is by choice. You decide to grow up. If you don't decide to grow up one way or the other, you would grow old. If you don't die, you would grow old. But growing up is a decision. And unfortunately, this particular man that we call a boy, no matter how old he may be, he has to make a decision to grow up. The problem about a boy is the fact that they care less about what is happening in the community and what is happening at church. If angafika nje la esontweni athola ukuthi sisemoyeni sonke uyangena nje ajoyina, what is happening they don't mind, they don't even ask. Make fikile wa fellowship or decide ukuthi aphume after church and left, they gone. Whether endlini kukhona ukudla or akukho, he is a boy. A boy will forever be a boy. A boy une joystick. If ukuyenzeka ukuthi he's grown old enough that he is now married and yet he is still a boy, and there's a hot debate landly, or a bit of a conflict, akahlali phansi and resolve the conflict. Ushiya argument hot and pick up his joystick and play because he is a boy. He believes in playing. A boy minds about himself. A boy minds about vela kanjani. Nangavela ku Facebook, how many likes would I get? That's a boy. The problem about boys is the fact that the day they get married or the day they meet a girlfriend, most of the time the person that makes decisions becomes the girlfriend. And ungakhohlwa phela awukwazi ungathi uyindoda uhluleke ukuprovide i-directive. Irresponsibility yakho njengendoda ukuthi uprovide i-directive to your household. So, but inkinga ke yabafana, inkinga yaka lendoda esimbiza ngoboy, inkinga yakhe ukuthi uyindoda kodwa uyinkinga eyindoda engakwazi ukuprovide i-directive. Ama decisions kumele athathe umfazi oshoyo ukuthi siphuma so so. And ungakhohlwa irresponsibility yomfazi bokuthi irresponsibility yomfazi bokuthi abuza indoda ukuthi siphuma kanjani siyapi, a provide directive. Abafana abo boy amadoda mara abo boy amadoda amadala ngeage. So ngoba amadala ngeage ayazama ngazo zonke izindlela ukuprove ukuthi yiwa amadoda. Ithi ngiphinde mhlawumbe. Nengizwa amadoda. Amadoda abo boy or amaboy abo boy abamadoda bayazama ngaso sonke isikhathi ukuprove ukuthi amadoda ngoba badala. So basebenzisa i-age yabo ukuprove ukuthi amadoda. So indoda umfana oyindoda unenkinga mangabe inkosikazi yakhe well developed or more advanced than him. That's why from time to time uzothola ukuthi indoda asithi indoda engasebenzi mhlambe if I would. Indoda engasebenzi ishade nalo sisi une ubhadala ama services wasendlini, unemoto, uye onikeza lo sisi imali. Uvamile lo sisi kaningi ukuthi kube usisi oshaywayo. And akashayelwa ukuthi wenze something wrong, but ushayelwa ukuthi uprovideile, meaning occupy a position ekumele ngabe occupy uye. So ukuthi angalahlekelwa ubudoda bakhe ngoba umfana, funeka approve kulosisi ukuthi yimi indoda akhumbule. Kungenze ukuthi sidla imali yakho, sihamba ngemoto yakho, silala endlini yakho, kodwa ungakhohlwa yimi indoda. So into eseduze angayisebenzisa yokuprove ukuthi uyindoda i-age nempama. Then we've got a player. These are categories of men that we have in our community and in our families. A player, okay, a player yilezi ezibabayo. Noma ngayenzani usisi in a relationship or marriage, a player will forever be a player. Noma ngasacrifice kangakanani umntana abantu to try to get a player back. The problem, a player remains a player, even phakathi kwesude, a player remains a player. A player remains a player even when a player is carrying a Bible. A player will always remain a player. The unfortunate thing about a player, it could be somebody that is very good when it comes to sex. Or a player could be somebody that is very good when it comes to finances. Most of the time, players are people of high IQ. Players have got everything that a woman would actually want to have from a man. But no matter what is it that this woman can do in terms of sacrificing for this marriage, a player would always remain a player. Now, what a player would do this. A player wouldn't mind to get married to a woman just for him to still continue and show up that he is a player. I look proof I can get married and still have other women. A player do not mind to spend no matter how much it would be just for him to move this lady from here and get her in bed. Ukotha uDavide bekasele ngenkathi amakhosi amanye ahambile ayolo. Bekazi uDavide ukuthi mabahambile abafazi bayasala and umfazi kaBishop ukhona. Ayikho ngithi manje mangihlelo lecture ngithi ayikho into bemsalisile akusindaba yokungaya empini bekasaliso ukuthi ngizombona lo mfazi egcineni bekazi ukuthi ukhona ngisho uyazi ukuthi abafazi abaye empini abafazi bayasala so bekazi uDavide ukuthi umfazi walendodwa ukhona. So a player will always be a player. A player do not mind to go and set up a man for his wife, for a man to be killed just for him to have the wife. Not to have him, but to have a few hours of his night with her. That's a player. So the unfortunate thing, we've got players in the house of the Lord. So that's why ngeke kuze kusize ukuthi sikhulume namadoda at church uma ngabe amadoda at church ashawa izinto zamadoda ngaphandle. One, we've got a boy. We've got a boy, we've got a man who is a boy, and we've got a man who is a player. Bonke labantu, they've got a prototype set up against them. Now, they've got a responsibility to deliver a requirement of a set prototype against them. And abo player guys, abo player bafaka ama-perfume. Abo player bayithola into abayifunayo from a girl. Abo champ boy. Imagine getting married to a woman and still continue living your life with a hell lot of other women out there. Siza madoda ngisho. Siza madoda. A player is the one that goes to a girl that he wants in bed and say, you know, I would have married you if I was not married to my wife. Yilezi zithi kanti wena bowukuphi all along before ngishada lo. Ngoba if wena bowukhona bengeke ngimshade ngabe ngishade wena. It's a player. Akamind ukubedmoutha his wife to a girl amfuna phansi. That's a player. Then we've got a confused man. Then we've got a confused man. Akazi why avuka. He doesn't know why he wakes up. He's not a boy. He's not a player. He's just confused. Yilezi njalo zinama excuses. Njalo zinama excuses. Kancane kancane unokumthola hlela phethe phone, mawucheck efonini yakhe, ubheke ubuso be-ex yakhe yakudala before aqeda imatric. He always has got excuses. Inkinga yakhe akavumi ukuthi uyahluleka, akavumi ukuthi unenkinga. Kodwa unama excuses. Why am Mr. Matarget? Yilezi njalo because they confused. Njalo bayazibhaqa, akwenzakali bangazibhaqi. Akwenzakali kuphela nje 2 months baphinde bambhaqa. And every akwenzakali njalo bayambhaqa. Ngelinye ilanga unokushiya ifone ajika athi ushaya imoto kakhulu uyendlini athola ifone bayiphethe. Njalo nje because you confused bayambhaqa. And every time nabambhaqile unama excuses. U set up a new targets. He is a man of confusion. Yilezi ndoda mabazibhaqile uzithola zikhala inyembezi zithembisa ngayo yonke into ezinayo ukuthi ukusuka manje I'm a totally changed man. He's not a player, neither is he a boy, but the problem about him, he's a confused man. That's why athi uNkulunkulu now when Habakkuk mawubhala umbono ubhale such that lo ofundayo agijime now, so that ubhale such that lo ofundayo angahikapi ku, ubhale such that lo ofundayo angabi confused. Yasibona lezi njalo nabakubhaqile wena uset up amanye ama targets, amanye ama a confused man always makes promises. That's a confused man. But can never make a commitment. Lapha ngaphandle laphaya lezi zinto engikhuluma ngazo ziyabashaya. Nani esontweni ziyanishaya. Amavesi niyawazi. Lapha ngaphandle bangcona bawazi. Zinishaya namavesi la esontweni. They've got excuses. They make promises, but no commitment. A confused man akayekeki kalula because unama requirements awamithayo of a set prototype by his family. And because of that, he always makes excuses, promises, but no commitment. So we've got a race as men that is set before us. We should run in this race such that we win. And you can't run in your line without having mocked up